everyone. Thank you very much for joining us at this very important session. Once again, we are meeting you for the fourth time with this monthly series of seminars organized by the Alumni Association of Faculty of Agriculture, University of Peradeniya, the AAFAUP. We are meeting you, we are coming to your space once in every 2 weeks, that is on the second Wednesday and the fourth Wednesday, with timely topics just to educate. Our main objective is to educate people on what's happening in reality at the ground level regarding, especially with respect to the misconceptions that is being spread across the society, to let you know the facts, let you know the realities, and let you know what is exactly happening in this country with respect to special subject areas. And to start on this fourth session of the AAFUP seminars, let me now invite the President of the Alumni Association of the Faculty of Agriculture, Dr. Tushara Wickramarachchi, to give the welcome address. Over to you, Tushara.
Thank you, Professor Buddhimarave. Thank you so much. Actually, I extend my warm welcome to all the participants, attendees today, because this is one of the main tasks of the Alumni Association. Actually, this webinar series serves as the platform for sharing the knowledge of timely important matters. This is the fourth one. Today we have invited one of the most eminent person in the country for this type of title, because it is the spatial and temporal realities in Sri Lankan agriculture. This is a little bit new things for some of us, but he will be discussing today what is the practicability for this one. Thank you so much for the Dr. Kadupitiya. And also we have to extend our gratitude to the participants, because this seminar series is one of the very successful webinar series because of our attendees. Therefore, we request everybody to share this knowledge to others, and also ask your fellow officers to join in the upcoming webinar also. With this one, actually, again, I extend my warm welcome to everybody, and again, hand over the floor to the Professor Buddhimarave as the moderator. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tushara Wickramarachchi, the President of the AAFAUP. As I told you, this is the fourth time that we are meeting, and there's many more in store for everyone, and we'll come up with many more interesting topics in the future. But without much ado, to introduce the member of AAFAUP, who will be delivering the session today. As our president said, a very experienced personality who was the former director of the Natural Resource Management Center of the Department of Agriculture and a GIS expert, who will be talking to you about a very interesting subject. And novel technologies will be brought into picture today. And the topic is a dive into the spatial and temporal realities of Sri Lankan agriculture. What's more, there's no other better person to call in, Dr. Harsha Kadupitiya. Over to you, Dr. Kadupitiya, to deliver your presentation. But before he starts, I must let you know the modalities of this. And according to the guidelines rule book that we have set, no participant will be allowed to ask questions verbally. And if you have questions, please make sure you type the questions in the chat box, and I will take the responsibility of picking them up and forwarding it to the presenter soon after his presentation. And as in the previous cases, this presentation is organized. In other words, myself as the moderator and Dr. Kadupitiya as the resource person. We had several discussions to see how the program can be structured, the presentation can be structured, and it can be understood by many people who are not the specialists in this particular subject area. So I'll be asking 3 to 4 questions during the presentation. It is well set, I must tell you. They are not ad hoc questions, and Dr. Kadupitiya will make sure there is flow in his presentation in responding to those questions, and we have picked up the most important questions for the benefit of the people. So Dr. Kadupitiya, while giving you the forum, to make your presentation, I must also tell you that many people would like to think of different aspects when you start talking about spatial and temporal realities with respect to Sri Lankan agriculture. Climate plays an important role here. So at the very beginning, I would like to know on behalf of the participants who are here, for their benefit as well, what is actually there with respect to climate and Sri Lankan agriculture, and what is the understanding that we get when you look at the spatial and temporal data, for example, in trying to elaborate the subject area. Over to you, Dr. Kadupitiya. Dr. Kadupitiya, you can share the screen and start. You have to share the screen. Colleague, there seems to be a technical problem. Please allow us. Okay, Dr. Kadupitiya, you can unmute yourself and go ahead. Thank you very much. Dr. Kadupitiya, we cannot hear you. Colleagues, we are trying to contact Dr. Kadupitiya. Please be patient. Dr. Kadupitiya, can you hear us? Please bear with us, colleagues. We'll try to rectify the problem.
Hello, Dr. Kadupitiya is having an issue with his microphone. So give us 3-4 minutes to fix it, then he will get back.
Can you speak, Dr. Kadupitiya, now? Colleagues, I'm sorry about what's happening, but we are doing our best to meet this challenge.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Can
we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can hear you. Go ahead, Dr. Kadupitiya. You can
Okay.
share the screen and go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Thanks. Can you see the screen?
Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, sorry for the disturbance. So I will start with that climatic influence of the that actually sun earth geometry dynamics. So you can see here that sun is the main influencing factor for in every detailed uh, climatic and any settings. So that sun goes around the earth goes around the sun. You can see that inclination angle. So it makes that seasonally sun inclination plane. That means sun concentration place moves when rotating the earth uh, from equator to north direction as well as south direction. So that is we can see here that we can see here the sun viewing from the that earth is viewed from the sun. Yeah, can you hear?
Yeah, go ahead, Dr. Kadupitiya.
Okay, that
Other members, can you?
when we see that Earth weaving from the sun, we can see that point goes downward, south direction, and again come to the equator center line, and again goes upward. So that is seasonal thing happens. So then that we can see here that winter is winter and the summer is changing according to the sun targeting point. So then that described well in this picture. So vertical rays always targeted onto the center of atmosphere. So that atmosphere, that center is more concentrated energy will fall from the sun to that point. And when we go to pole side of the atmosphere, that due to curvature and the distance, it make that less energy. So then concentrate energies relative to the other places make more hotter in that atmosphere in that center line. But the Earth is inclination angle. See here, we can see here that inclined by 23.5 degrees. So then that angle is always there with when rotating also. So then when Earth comes to the other side, so it that we can see here that always it is changing. So then that Earth day and night is changing from equator that is not changing 12 hours and 7 minutes. So then the North Pole, some seasons, it gets 24 hours sunshine, and some the other and when it goes to other end, that is 24 hours dark. So then in between these two extreme, it is changing. So it means that always constant energy in equator. So the Sri Lanka is in near to equator, from 6 to 9 around north direction. So then there is always always that range it remain. So then that heat energy is heating the atmosphere. So then that heat atmosphere goes upward. So then that cell-like rotation, that atmospheric cells move like this. So then that energy plane always go up. So then that gap, fill in the gap, the surrounding air will come. So then that is the main system that Earth atmospheric rotation. You can see here sometimes that that length will change. If it breaks in between, so that one cell goes opposite side. So that is there again, that always more or less related to El Nino and La Nina concept also. So then normally Earth rotate, Earth surface that atmosphere. We can see that three cells from north pole side and also south pole side, three cells. So that is atmosphere, but Earth is angular. So then that center goes upward one season and then again come back to the north side, so south side. So then that it passes Sri Lanka also during April to upward direction, and again during August, September to downward direction. So we can see here at the equator that more atmospheric thickness is there also due to the rotation. So then that also influence the equator, that is tropical belt atmosphere. So then that Earth is not actually that spherical. So we can see here Sri Lanka in this dark blue point. That is gravity is less point also. And depression there, so that low gravity and depression make that more enlarged atmospheric condition. And also this is that Met Department issues always that sun position over Sri Lanka. We can see here 5th to 15th April, it goes south to north direction. So that is the sun energy most that plane passing the Sri Lanka upward, and then 28 to 8 September, 28 August to 8 September, it comes north to south direction. So during that season, that the more energy will come to land. So then that atmosphere move upward, then conventional rains happens. So then after passing the Sri Lanka, that normally season is start. So that is the Asian monsoon region main features. We can see here again. So then that center, that sun's energy concentration point we call as intratropical convergence zone. So then it moves seasonally with time upward and downward direction. That is mean the north and south direction. So then when it goes up in Sri Lanka, that conventional rain, so then again it will when Earth rotating, that is angular, because that air movement is a little bit angular. So that make a lot of differences, rainfall occurrence in near summer. We can see here Sri Lanka always get a lot of rainfall, that is precipitation, that global precipitation distribution. So then that is the base of Sri Lankan climate. Again, it due to tropical region, it and the angular location of that Earth, the highly dynamic global air circulation happens in that tropical region and characterized by high rainfall and short dry spell. And again, into monsoonal region, north, that two monsoon and inter-monsoonal conventional rain happens. So again, Sri Lanka is mostly influenced by marine influence, that sea always that moist air can come into the island, and due to topographic uplifting, that that moisture will condense and rain can be happen. So that marine influence always there. Anytime that rainfall can happen, and also topographic and temperature differences will make more variability internally. So we can see here that elevation and the rainfall distribution over Sri Lanka. We can see that wet zone mostly that annually distributed both season high rainfall received, and the other areas one season deficit and the other season excess rainfall we experience in Sri Lanka. So that is the climate main climate influence of the Sri Lanka.
Thank you very much. I think that's a great explanation that you gave. I mean, to look at the amount of energy that land on the equator and Sri Lanka being in a tropical climate, it's needless to say that energy is going to affect, the overall system. That's why we always say it's very difficult to have a organic matter build up in the dry zone area because of high temperatures, and people try to compare our situations with temperate climate, which receives lower energy and the decomposition rates are lower. So a lot of things can happen with respect. Kadupitiya, in your last slide,
Yeah, it is disturbing actually that sound is not coming well.
Feature, especially in
Yeah, the question is not coming to me clearly.
Can
Some disturbances. Question is not coming, but you know that topographic influences of the Sri Lankan condition determine climate and related agroecosystems. Is it okay? I think so. I will explain then.
No.
Yeah. Thank you for that influence of topographic and landform in Sri Lankan system. So we can see here that topography of Sri Lanka is characterized by central land massif and surrounding the several plains, and always elevation from mean sea level, it goes up to 2,500, and water flows always that many rivers is appearing here, and that is water courses and perennial and some water rivers. There are many streams. So then water falls from mountain region to the other areas. So then that is always go through the water divide. So we can see here that rainfall counts, and it divide from water divide. So it makes that many main watershed that we can see here 109 main watersheds and some basins. So water flow toward lower land. So we can see here that river basin here is the Mahavali is the major river basin. So that we can see these river basin have connection with central land massif. So then it means that then influence of central land massif is always there towards these all river basins. So that it means that these river basins, lower part receives year-round water from that rivers. It comes from central land massif. So we can see here that Sri Lankan reservoirs mostly concentrated in within these river basins. That is a little bit ancient, that old rivers, and also that Mahavali areas, always in that central land massif, water will feed from that water. So then some river basin we can see that not connected with some these river basins not connected with central land massif. So that is great thing that all the major cascade zone is situated in those locations. So then it means that central land massif influences not receiving areas mostly that same location rainfall make use of that rainfall. That ancient engineers make that cascade systems. So then that is the major thing, that spatial distribution of water availability, and that major that rainfall distribution, water distribution systems in Sri Lanka. That is agro-ecosystem base of topographic influence base.
Thank you very much for that explanation once again, Dr. Kadupitiya. Gives a lot of information, I think, that is very useful in our future work, and also to decide on what people are talking about, especially with respect to changes in the agroecological region, which is on the cards right now. Let's talk about those things later. But I would like to know from you, Dr. Kadupitiya, right now, because since we are mainly focusing on the agriculture sector, would like to know from you about the major agricultural systems in Sri Lanka. Can you highlight, based on your analysis, what are the key agricultural systems that can be found, that are found in Sri Lanka? We all know about them in general, but we would like to know from your databases, from the analysis that we have done in the past. Would you mind highlighting them? Over to you.
Yes, thank you very much. Actually prominent agroecosystems, we can say that the geographic diversity-based agroecosystem, tank cascade system, anekkad-based stream bed system, orbiter farming system is some other that in wet zone some areas, and Candium home gardens, sloping agriculture system, and groundwater system, Jaffna groundwater cultivation system, and also some plantation sector also. We cannot forget that in colonial era it started, so that evolved in that that is again modern technological advancement, major multi-purpose that irrigation system, Mahavali irrigation system, and also some new micro irrigation systems also came into progress. So then let me talk about a little bit about a tank cascade system. So that is actually man-made irrigation infrastructure in Sri Lanka. That is ancient wisdom. That is wisdom of ancient hydrologic experts of deep knowledge and ecological function And cascade system is a network of small tank draining into large reservoir. So designed to store rainwater and surplus runoff from for future use. That cascade system created to harmonize the natural force of water, supporting both human and ecological needs by synchronizing various components of the system. And also that unique system has been many ecological function. It sustains diverse life forms, including fauna and flora, and people in the area, and various natural and human influence challenges. So tank cascade system was designated as globally important agricultural system by the United States. So then that special settings of cascade system, we now know the national where it occurs. So it occurs that in a river basin which are not connected to central highland, and subnational level we can see that it is always that major reservoir is there, and that all the cascade systems in a cluster like I can show here, and this is the Nachadua tank. So we can see here a lot of clustered cascade system that radially comes radially toward that major reservoir, that is a major cluster. So then it tank by tank, one tank feed and cultivate area, and then again collect filtered water to the second tank. Like that, water reuse principle is there. And when it comes to major reservoir, it sustains a lot of area in downward. And the major thing that it is mostly sustain not only the human need at landscape level, it is ecosystem sustainability, groundwater level movement. There are a lot of advantages there with the tank system. This is some of the illustration of tank cascade system. You can see here nested with that one tank comes to the other tank like that. So then the water used for agriculture will collect into the other tank after filtering. That all the system is developed like that. So if we think that small tank, also there are a lot of logic behind each and every component. That is a very huge system. It covers large area. So the other one is different aquifer system, that groundwater system. Jaffna Peninsula also different type of coral base one groundwater collector basin is there. So that act as barrier to seawater intrusion with the freshwater pressure. So then it is also groundwater system also there. There are many locations. And also we have some many ecosystem. For example, sloping land cultivation system in hilly areas, that Norelia, Badul, Matale area, and also Chena system, Ensign system, maybe that now it is disappearing. And Jaffna groundwater, some kind of whales now it changed into agro whales. And also plantation sector, there are many distribution is there that for some part, and also some again orbiter system also there. So we can see here tank cascade system, anechoic system distribution. So anechoic is that central highland and its hilly area, water comes from stream that divert and to downstream cultivation area. So the other one is reservoir system, that Mahavali system. Altogether, we can see that all the metrics has been filled with some type of major or minor irrigation system. So then a lot of that usage is there already available for cultivation, agriculture purposes, seasonal agriculture purposes. So then the other area that village tank cascade system, and also Candium forest home garden distribution and water system is there. We can see here that Sri Lanka land use system. We can see paddy, tea, and all the areas, some near less than 30% forest area, other areas mostly cultivated. So then we can tell that it is fully utilized and with very many different systems. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kadupitiya, for letting us know about the differential patterns and so on. Now, if all of us look at it from a layman's perspective, point of view, what is the take-home message that you're going to give to us? Because you're talking about spatial and temporal issues with respect to agriculture. So would like to know the take-home message from you. Over to you, Dr. Kadupitiya.
Yes, thank you very much. And that we can say that Sri Lanka is endowed with a high degree of natural resources, including climate, that support diverse range of agriculture production landscapes. And the entire country boasts a rich variety of agroecosystems strategically located across different spatial zones. And Sri Lanka has implemented well-designed water utilization zones to efficient manage its water resources. The central land massif of Sri Lanka play a crucial role in supplying irrigation water to irrigation regions of dry zone. That is most important. We should protect that area. And also the cascade system properly placed in prioritize sustainability of all aspects, including human well-being and environment, flora, fauna, and overall ecosystem health. This approach is closely aligned with the One Health concept. That is, we should protect all features in as a landscape level. So that I made a suggestion is integrating spatial consideration into development intervention to further enhance the sustainable use of these natural resources. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kadupitiya. Interesting situations. Certain things are quite new to us. We have been using this type of information, but we did not have a deep dive into it. And thank you very much for taking us through a journey, starting from sun's movements and so on, and looking at the energy balances that you very clearly explained. There's a question on the chat box, but before I go to that question, Dr. Kadupitiya, a lot of people after doing this spatial and temporal data analysis are now talking about shifting of the khanda, or in other words, cultivating seasons, including redemarcation of agroecological regions. Those have been discussed elsewhere. What is your opinion about it, being the former director of the Natural Resource Management Center and being a GIS expert? Just your opinion only. Over to you, Dr. Kadupitiya.
Yes, but after looking at the geometry of sun and earth, so that will not change. So then that some patterns still we can expect that, but that energy that air circulation pattern may make differences with the increase of global temperature. So then if that goes, if increase, it may increase the speed of rotation, may break that cells into different cells. So then it will it will just like flow of water. So it will create turbulence. So then it will create problems. So that may happen. So that we experience maybe that one. So that that is there. So then I hope that better to incorporate irrigation zones as subzones of agroecological. It means the climate and water availability both should superimpose to get some zones that may influence, enhance the management zones that may divide into management zones. So then it may enhance that utilization of information. So zone-based cultivation and interventions.
Thank you. I mean, a follow-up question once again from me. Now, does it mean that we have to revisit the whole agroecological region map, or within the existing regions, we are trying to subdivide the segments?
So then normally it tells that 30 years data will may not change like that, but we normally experience some extraordinary changes in some regions. So actually in Kandy region, we experience a little bit high temperature and long spell dry spells, and also wet zone. In some district, we experience high rainfall. So then it means that thing if update is needed. So that's why that included in most of the national plans.
Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Sunil Gamage, who is in the audience, is asking question. He has raised a question in the chat box. I kindly invite other members also to question your questions in the chat box. The question is like this. Mr. Gamage is asking, could we not apply the same techniques used in the village cascade systems to our 100 or so rivers by creating obstructions at multiple points to create reservoirs? So that's the question. And according to him, this would be a potential solution to address the current issues of declining soil water levels, and especially in agriculture and biodiversity. Over to you, Dr. Kadupitiya.
So that is the base principle of cascade system. So normally cascade system, that type of change tank is mostly suitable for that at least one season water deficit. So if that water is available in that hilly areas, we have to think about the landslide. So that landslide protection, and that is opposite for soil conservation. So then soil conservation, we try to absorb more water into ground. But in landslide area, we try to increase overland flow without inserting into the ground. So that we have to think more, and only in suitable areas we can do that.
Okay, thank you very much. K. Jayavanan has a question for you. He says it's a very fruitful forum. His question is that you mainly focused on water management in agroecosystems using spatial and temporal data in agriculture. Could you please elaborate something more regarding other use of the spatial and temporal data in agricultural production? Over to you.
Yeah, actually that water availability is base for agriculture. So more important thing is that irrigated area, from some area rain will goes to irrigated area, so that it will receive that water in dry season, where mostly more energy and this cloud-free areas. So then that type of things always they are in that water management again. So then again that mostly some soil and also ground that soil depth, that also influence for some of the agro ecosystem. Actually, some crops, for example, that some that fruit crops may need deep soil. For that type of zone base, we can advise, if we can advise zone based intervention is more useful, more appropriate for enhancement of agriculture.
Thank you very much. Sisira Udavatta has a question for you. This question is about the more recent rainfall events. He's asking, has the salt production been influenced by recent rainfall patterns? Would you?
Yeah, I mean, with more rain, mostly salt production may affected. No? So that is only salt production, that not may directly related to agriculture. So that may happen, yeah. He is, but is saying that influencing.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Dr. Kadupitiya, when I ask from you about the take-home messages, you summarize the overall information very clearly. Now, using these technologies, what is in store for us for the future? With respect to agriculture, I mean, people talk a lot about the outcomes, but you are into this particular system, looking at the data and looking at the temporal and spatial data, trying to analyze them, trying to conclude based on the real-time information. So what is in store for us in the future? How come this type of information, for example, be used for future decision-making, policy-making, and so on? Over to you, Dr. Kadupitiya.
And actually, that when we go to field, we see some site-specific locational characters. But when we see as a whole, we can see if we can develop one map or map-like thing, we can see clearly the interconnection between different land ecosystem. And also at the last slide, I have shown, we have seen that in Sri Lanka, largely fragmented nature of ecosystem. So then we can we have to deal with that type of situation. So we may need sometimes to consolidate. So our institutional structure also fragmented, especially in agriculture. So then that type of common spatial database will allow that consolidation of collaboration and linking fragmented institutional also. So we have national and provincial also. So then all will interfere in the say one land. So then that type of things can influence by special databases.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once again, a question from me now. Sri Lanka moves ahead right now developing provincial adaptation plans after the national adaptation plan, and a lot of emphasis being focused on developing the capacity at the provincial level, at least to maintain databases, to make sure they will come up with dashboards so that the information related to climate change and adaptation with respect to provinces will be accessible by many, not the hardcore data, I must tell you, at least in terms of analyzed information. So how come but the problem I see always is the capacity with those segments. So how come we try to get this worked out, Dr. Kadupitiya? We are a very few experts as far as I understand.
Yeah.
In this country, we are looking at these overall scenarios. How come this capacity building can be continued or done? Over to you.
And actually, different we sometimes know that regional level and provincial level, many organizations deal with interfere with that adaptation and also mitigation. Many activities going on in the field level, but nationally, international commitment, we need to report them. So as a national report system should be there. And also that will also solve that mandate overlapping, and also sometimes same activity may be overlapping with different institutions. So that if there are any system for reporting and top down and bottom up approach, that link if there is there, so then we can solve some of the things, and also we can influence that national level reporting also.
Yeah. One more thing with respect to national level reporting that you said right now. Now, the Department of Agriculture, the very department that you were serving until few months ago, as the director of the Natural Resource Management Center, who looks after the weather advisories and so on, and support crop forecasting. Now, the Department of Agriculture releases monthly crop forecasting data, giving a lot of very, very, very valuable information for us to think of the future. Now, how does this type of work, or how have this type of information contributed to such forecasting processes? If not, how can we use them with the knowledge available with the Department of Agriculture right now? Over to you.
Yeah, that forecast, and also some actually I know that I came to know that twice that once in 2 weeks that updates, so that that type of information may need for, if they distributed well, that type of information may be useful for traders and that transporters as well, and others to know where and which crop is already established. So then after establishment, we know that harvesting season. So then that if we can correctly utilize, that can be used as national production support to information system for national production coordination.
Right, thank you very much. There's a question from W.M. Somathilaka from the audience. And the question is, what kind of climate change adaptation techniques are proposed for Sri Lankan agriculture? Very broad topic, but if you can summarize few things, Dr. Kadupitiya.
That climate adaptation techniques, there are many climate smart agricultural technologies already using in Sri Lanka. So there are now actually some trends is going on that climate smart. Some of the technologies, adaptation and mitigation, both aspects there. For example, solar powered water pumping, so that it will reduce the fuel burning as well as drought and that mitigation and adaptation also. So then there are many climate smart technologies already available, and that is long term program also there in Sri Lanka, that for example drought resistant and stress tolerant variety development program is many years, that started many years now. Time we can see that some of the key varieties already releasing. So that type of lot of information. There are some publication also. They are in national that smart agriculture technologies recently in the SARC Agriculture Center. Some project already published. It is available in internet.
Yeah, thank you very much. For benefit of the audience and also referring to the question raised by W.M. Somathilaka. And as Dr. Kadupitiya said, about a week ago, the SARC Agriculture Center, I think they published the climate smart agriculture practices in Sri Lanka, where Dr. Kadupitiya was the first author of that publication. And anyone who is visiting the SARC Agriculture Center can definitely download that publication free of charge. There's another question from Viraj Udayanga. I think this is the last question that we are going to take because of the time limitation. The question is that, are there any databases available to track landslide-prone areas in Sri Lanka?
Actually, that landslide
areas.
always landslide grows with that building research organization. So that building research organization, they have regional as well as sub-region, the DS division-wise databases, map sets. I have seen some of them in the internet available. So then actually, if you contact any officer from building research organization, you may get that type of information.
Yeah, thank you very much. And Kasun Indika, gives an appreciation. He says, thank you very much for the informative presentation. And also I want to share my sincere gratitude for organizing this kind of webinar. Thank you very much, Kasun. And that's one of our objectives, keep people updated about the latest technologies and to let people know the state institutions, private sector organizations who have been devoted to develop the agriculture sector of Sri Lanka, to let you know that what they have done and what technological advancements are there for all of us to use in the future. And today's fourth webinar, the AAFAUP conducted, was also on the same line. So thank you very much, Dr. Kadupitiya, taking time off for being with us today and to make a very elaborative presentation of certain things that we have never even touched upon, we have even thought of going and trying to refer into. It was indeed a deep dive. And while thanking you once again, I must thank the audience also for their active participation. Your participation and your engagement make us more stronger, and to make sure that more and more this type of seminars can be organized in the future. So, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, we'll be meeting you in 2 weeks' time once again, because we are having the seminars on every second Wednesday and the fourth Wednesday. So let me remain right now on behalf of the AAFAUP, wishing everyone a very good evening and good night. Thank you very much for being with us today as well. See you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you.